Drones in agriculture are taking off in popularity, and farmers, drone manufacturers, and other stakeholders met for the Mid-Atlantic Spray Drone Workshop this summer on Virginia's Eastern Shore.
So there's lots of uses for drones in agriculture. We have the application of most pesticides, which are insecticides, fungicides, herbicides. And then you also have the ability to apply granular materials as well, fertilizer, seed, AF8, these types of granular products that may need to go out.
For agriculture, drones are especially valuable because they allow a farmer to target specific areas of a field, saving money on applied products and reducing their environmental impact. Drones designed for agriculture are much bigger than drones used for photography and recreation, but farmers also often use camera drones with special sensors that can map their fields. That information is captured on what is called a shapefile, a way to digitize geographic information.
Such as locations and what happens at those locations. For instance, in this case, we have a georeferenced location, and then we know that there's a weed at that location. But it also could be a nutrient deficiency as well.
Drone manufacturers were also on hand at the conference, including Aerial Technologies based in Florida.
This drone is currently configured with a granular payload system. All of these drones have interchangeable payload systems, so you can swap this out for a liquid payload system. We've got an ultra-low volume payload system, and we've also got a multispectral LiDAR imagery payload system as well.
Just like with photography drones, pilots of agriculture drones must obtain a Part 107 commercial license from the FAA. But they also have to obtain a Part 137 license from the FAA, allowing operators to disperse crop applications in the payload. Even though these drones are much bigger than photography drones, the battery life is similar for both, about 10 to 15 minutes. So, if a farmer is trying to cover a large field, he or she will typically ride in a vehicle, land the drone, change the battery, and, if necessary, the payload, and launch the drone for the next section. Using a drone for land management can also be safer for farmers.
It's really great as another tool in the toolbox where you've got an area that may be too dangerous for a manned aircraft to go. It's a little cleanup, so it doesn't financially make sense to call out a helicopter or a fixed wing. Or it's an area where it's just difficult to get to, like a canal, a ditch, somewhere you don't want somebody on foot, and it's going to be a little treacherous.
This event was organized by the Eastern Shore Agricultural Research and Extension Center, part of Virginia Tech, and featured a demonstration of the Precision Vision 40X drone. The drone can go to a specific spot and, using a nozzle underneath, spray a relatively small area of crops, which is fine as long as the wind isn't blowing. But if there is wind, pilots will need to move the drone a few feet to either side.
So definitely wind would be a major factor if you are not seeing that accuracy in terms of the efficacy of the herbicides you are applying.
Speakers at the event agreed that drones for agriculture will get bigger, and their payloads will be able to hold more volume. The point of this conference is to show how the drones can be used to micromanage a crop field, saving farmers time and money, and possibly having a little fun flying in the process. In Accomack County, Virginia, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.